She's bad, man. They're all on my naughty list.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to a very special bonus episode of Bomb Squad Movie Night. I am your host for this evening, Tim M. Sullivan, and with me I have...
Elf, Tanner Richard Kraft.
I'm Joseph Henry Santa Vrenick.
And I'm Bennett Kedge.
Woo!
Woo!
We always love it when Bennett's on.
Hell yeah. He's an official member, by the way. I don't think that got mentioned.
Yeah, we didn't mention that in Good Will Hunting. Bennett is a member now. He's not just a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually accepted me.
We got the Kedge, baby.
He got invited to the orgy.
Anyway,
Exactly.
Tim, why are we all dressed like festive legends today?
Oh yeah, because it's Christmas whenever this drops. And yeah, we are continuing.
You can't see me, but I'm festive as fuck behind this camera, dude.
Oh, I believe it. I
love you, Bennett.
believe it.
You're the festivest of us all.
The festivus for the rest of us. And today we are continuing our tradition of edgy Christmas movies for the Christmas Day bonus cast. Last year we did Bad Santa, and that was a lot of fun. This year we have upped our Christmas spirit a little bit, I think. We had 2 episodes of the mainline show that were Christmas movies. We had Anna the Apocalypse, hosted by Joe, which featured the director, John McPhail. That was a big episode. It was real cool. You should go watch it. And then right after that, we had Catch Me If You Can, which we haven't recorded that yet, but by the time this drops, you'll have seen it. I'm sure it's a great episode. Nothing went wrong. Nobody suspiciously familiar broke into Tanner's apartment with a gun. I don't know why I would say that. It's just, you never know.
The FBI is not after me.
There's no wacky shenanigans going on in that one. That should be a simple episode.
Yeah.
It's a straight-up Spielberg movie.
Exactly. Yeah, so we've got the Christmas spirit going, and today we are talking about the new hit film, Violent Night. And this is also a very special episode because we got to see this on the opening night of St. Louis's Alamo Drafthouse.
Woo! Yay, baby.
This was a very special occasion for all of us, and we're gonna try and start a new little sub-series where we talk about our experience watching stuff at the Alamo Drafthouse, just because it's pretty cool, and we've all been waiting a long time for it. And I'm gonna start with a question about that, just talk about our feelings on the experience, and we're gonna start with Joe, because Joe here was actually not an Alamo virgin before this screening. What were your thoughts going in, and expectations for what the St. Louis Alamo would be?
An Ala virgin, if you will.
There we go.
Yeah, no. If you happen to know me, I've not always been a Missourian. I only kind of moved out here last year, but I grew up and lived most of my life out in Counts Bluffs, Iowa, which is right next to Omaha, Nebraska. And Omaha, at least for a while, one of them sadly closed recently. But for a while, Omaha had 2 Alamo Drafthouses. And every time I would come down to Missouri for college, I would get extremely upset because I was nowhere near a goddamn Alamo Drafthouse. And I would always tell my movie friends, St. Louis needs an Alamo Drafthouse because Alamo Drafthouse is the best movie theater in the fucking world. Holy goddamn shit. I love the Alamo Drafthouse so much. From just the environment that Alamo Drafthouse has to their movie selection, because they don't just play regular release movies. They play the regular new release stuff, but they'll have special movie parties for certain events or anniversaries. They do a ton of re-releases every month, which honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, they do a lot of like B-movie grindhouse stuff, which now that we have one in St. Louis, I question the future of late night grindhouse. But yeah, no, Alamo Drafthouse, great movie selection, fantastic food, which is worth the price. It's a little bit pricier, but it's basically like you're going to the movies and a restaurant at the same time, because man, oh man, it's like you go there, there's the tables, pull out a menu, you can order a fucking cheese pizza while the movie's playing if you want. Alamo Drafthouse, the other great thing about Alamo Drafthouse, they're very strict no talking policy. The best fucking thing about the Alamo Drafthouse is their no talk, no texting policy, which they have become very famous for. So, when I heard St. Louis was getting their own, I got fucking excited, and God, that whole thing took fucking forever to get out here. However,
it's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years, and thank God that it finally came out, and I'm honestly happy about the day that it came out, because the day that this fucking thing had its grand opening was my birthday. Woo! So it's like the city of St. Louis is like, you moved out here and you suffered enough this year. Happy birthday! You get the best. You get the best.
He's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow.
Yes,
okay, nobody's joining.
St. Louis was just like, you've suffered enough. Here, have the best movie theater chain in the city now that you live here. So yeah, that's my Alamo Drafthouse experience. I knew what I was getting into, and I was so excited to be sharing it with friends this time around. So I'm gonna pass it off back to you, Tim.
Hell yeah. I will say, I do think that Late Night Grindhouse still has a good future, just because I think it has a lot of word of mouth, and I think, if anything, like, if it doesn't work out at DePere for whatever reason, it'd be real cool to get them at Alamo, because that would jive perfectly with their environment, and also, you know, the shut the fuck up message they have at the beginning of every movie.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll go next. Tanner, you were waiting 4 years for this. Tell us about it.
I've done my waiting. 4 years of waiting. Or however that quote goes from the
In misery.
In misery. I mean Missouri. Same thing. Let me tell you, I remember exactly where I was when I found out that St. Louis was getting an Alamo Drafthouse. I was in the car with Ethan after the Mission Impossible 7 debacle, or 6 debacle, where I accidentally stiffed him both a ticket and popcorn because I was an inconsiderate moron. Please watch the Mission Impossible podcast to find out more about this funny thing. And ever since then, I have been counting down the days. It took 4 years, 5 months, and 17 days from the day I found out about the Alamo Drafthouse coming here for it to finally open. It was a little touch and go there for a while. The company declared bankruptcy in 2011, and I was terrified that meant that we weren't going to get it anymore. But no, we got it. Thank God we got it. They closed down a location in, like, Iowa and a couple in Texas. Worthy sacrifice for the St. Louis location, of course. And let me tell you, my first time finally getting to see a movie at the Alamo Drafthouse, it lived up to the expectations. Because I got free food.
Hell yeah.
Not on purpose.
He robbed the place.
I did not rob the place. What happened is I ordered
He held the
water.
server at gunpoint. He's lying.
Shut up. I ordered a water, and then I ordered chicken tenders, and then when everyone handed out the bills, he came up to me and said, because you just ordered a water, I'm not giving you a bill. And I said, yes, sir, that's correct. I didn't order any food. And let me tell you guys, those chicken tenders were delicious. I'm still eating them.
Hey, this man's got chicken.
These actually are Alamo Drafthouse chicken tenders. I just got back from seeing Puss in Boots there. My sister ordered chicken tenders and she didn't eat them all, so...
I was gonna say, Tanner's taken the most advantage out of Alamo Drafthouse since it's open.
It hasn't been open for 2 weeks yet, and I've already been there 4 times.
I was gonna say,
there we go.
He and I went and saw Elf. That's where he got the hat that he's wearing. I also have one. He saw Batman Returns. Man, oh man.
And just to say, I saw Puss in Boots. All fantastic movies.
Nice.
Nice.
And yeah, let me tell you, the big thing about the Alamo Drafthouse is they have to be the most comfortable seats I've ever had at a movie theater. They are really comfortable, and most movie theater seats, when they recline, they're very uncomfortable for me. Not the case here. These ones, just right. And honestly, the only thing arguably missing is heated seats. But honestly, I don't know about y'all, but every time I've used a heated seat at a movie theater, it's just burned my ass. Like, it's literally too hot to be comfortable. They've never been useful for me. So, I gotta say, I'm glad the Alamo's here. I'm glad it's here to stay. If you want to go to the Alamo Drafthouse, go to IKEA. It's across the street from the IKEA. Those are my best directions. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you, Tanner. Very cool.
Yeah!
All right, Bennett. What were your expectations for the Alamo Drafthouse, and what were your thoughts on the experience there?
I'm not gonna lie, I had never heard of an Alamo Drafthouse until about a week before we went, when Tanner was telling us to buy tickets to go. And I just said, all right, I'll go to this place that I don't know about. And I still had no idea what it was until we showed up to the actual movie theater. I still don't fully understand what it is, but I'll tell you, I had a great time. I loved it. It was very enjoyable, and I will have to go a few more times to get the full experience and understand what it exactly is. So Tanner explained it to me like before we went, like, oh yeah, they have like food there and stuff, and I was like, oh well, like every movie theater has food, so like what's the difference?
Every movie has their food, you fucking idiot.
And he's like, well, they also serve like alcohol and stuff, and I was like, well, like AMC's been doing that for a minute now, like it's nothing new. But I didn't know that they serve it to you directly to your seat, like an actual restaurant, and that is so cool. And it's not like your typical like AMC or Marcus theaters where you order food on like the phone or something like that, and then bring it to your seat before the movie starts. Like, it's like a full-on restaurant experience, and that's so cool. And the aesthetics were another thing I loved. It didn't have your typical movie theater look to it, like, you know, how you go in and it's just a blank walls where they have a couple posters where they'll change out with upcoming movies. It was very old-timey. They had the classics. They had small movies that not a lot of people know about, but are very good movies. It was just overall, like, the aesthetics were beautiful about it. I don't know, it's just like an enjoyable, nice little location for us to have, and something different from the typical chains that we normally get here.
To build on the aesthetics of it, to put it in perspective to the audience how it's different, most movie theaters, if you go down to your theater, you'll see a poster for Wakanda Forever or some, like, Zachary Levi.
Yeah, a movie that's about to come out soon.
Here, the first fucking poster you see is a gigantic French language poster for Austin Powers Goldmember. Alright, that's the kind of experience you're getting here.
That was made specifically for my girlfriend.
I'm sure she got a kick out of that.
She loved it.
Yeah,
Autistic
I also
people
like
love
the
Austin Powers.
I also like the tables, like the tables in the dining area outside, where they had all the movie posters like finished into the tables.
Oh,
so cool. That was so cool. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
It's like another thing that I want to like add to like about the aesthetic of Alamo Drafthouse. And I also kind of want to rub in about the Omaha one just a tad, which is not something that the St. Louis one has. I mean, it's got some of it, but the one out in Omaha specifically that's still open, and I know a couple of other theaters do it. Some of the Alamo Drafthouses will have like a very specifically like themed lobby. Say for instance the one out in Omaha where it's like you walk into the lobby where you buy your tickets and it's like you walked into the fucking Death Star. Which, yeah, that's the one out in Omaha. Is like, it looks like the Death Star. Up in the ceiling is like a giant Death Star with a laser coming out of it. And like right before you go down the hall to where like all the theaters are, there is like a little like section for like photo ops, and it's the Emperor's like throne room from Return of the Jedi, and you have like his throne right there, which you can sit in, get photo ops by it. But the really cool part about it is on the side of the armrest, there's a button. You hit that button, the Death Star like fires its laser. It is genuinely one of the coolest theater lobbies ever.
Joe has killed no less than 7 people using this.
I
It's
have,
true.
yes.
All right. It's my turn.
The deafening silence after I
I love
admit
Tim just,
that.
all right then.
That's a nice little happy note to leave it off on.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I guess it's my turn. So yeah, like everyone's been saying, like I don't think I've been waiting for this quite as long as Tanner. But yeah, I've been waiting a couple of years because I remember hearing about it, and I think it's something I've been especially waiting for recently because St. Louis is kind of losing its cool theaters. Like, we lost the Tivoli last year. The High Point we still have, and that just recently got bought by Cinema St. Louis, so I'm interested to see where that goes. And then we lost Moolah.
I never got to go to that one, and it sucked.
Yeah. And yeah, we were just, I was just waiting for like another cool movie theater to come out, like that wasn't like an AMC or Marcus Theater. And so I was excited when it was like starting to get announced, like this is actually happening this year. And it got pushed back a couple times, but then it finally came out in December, and it was a blast. I loved it. As soon as I walk in, I see all the posters and everything. Like, this is just a really cool atmosphere. I really enjoyed, like, just looking at everything that was around. Yeah, just a great atmosphere. And then, again, the movie theater itself was very nice. Like everyone's been saying, like the seats are very comfortable. I thought the like pre-movie show was really cool too, because it was a little different from like your standard.
It's
just
not
like,
just a bunch of fucking ads.
yeah, it's not a bunch of commercials. It's not just like previews for the upcoming movies. Like they had like little clips from classic or like older movies. Like they showed a clip from Dial Code Santa Claus. I remember when we walked in. I think they had played like a little clip from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and just like stuff like that. So that was neat. That just kind of like added to the like presentation of it. Tanner's losing a light.
Sorry.
You good, bud?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was playing with the lamp a little too much.
We've all been there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was the food was very good. It was very expensive, but worth it.
That's typical for movie theaters, though.
What's funny though is
Yeah,
that it's about the same price as it would be at like Marcus, and it's like tastes 3 times as good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, precisely. So it's definitely worth it. I didn't get like an alcoholic beverage because I had to drive and it was late, but I trust that their bar is good. I'll have to try it sometime when I don't necessarily have to drive. So yeah, it was a lot of fun going. It lived up to the expectations and then some. Had a great time. But now we're gonna start talking about the movie that we saw, which is Violent Night. And you know, it's Christmas. We're all in the spirit. Sometimes it's a little hard to get into the spirit. Like I mentioned on the Bad Santa cast, back then I was working as a photographer at a Santa station at the mall. I'm doing that again this year at a busier mall as a manager. And let me tell you, this Mandy Christmas sweater I'm wearing right now, this is about where I'm at right now. Yeah, this is, yeah. So I think this is like the perfect kind of movie to talk about for, you know, people who are trying to get into the spirit, maybe having a little trouble. So let's start talking about our thoughts on Violent Night. We will start with Bennett.
Yo!
Oh man, put me on the spot.
You're so sexy, Bennett. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, thanks. I loved it. It was pretty much everything. It lived up to the expectations I had, and those were very high expectations. When I saw the trailer and saw that David Harbour was playing Santa Claus in basically a Die Hard situation, I was like, this can't get any better. And then it did that. It got better. I was just expecting him to be some, like, you know, typical military Santa type guy who's already knows all this combat stuff. But in reality, he was like a depressed Santa that had a problem with alcohol and a very dark past, but didn't have a whole lot of combat training. At least you think in the beginning, but you know, once he finds that. Are we doing spoilers, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
spoilers.
Always
So
assumed. Always assumed that's allowed.
So once he finds that hammer, though, that's where you find out, oh shit, Santa's actually like a he's got a pretty dark past there. So
He's a fucking Viking.
yeah, he's smashed a few skulls in. So yeah,
He is the Northman.
yeah, that
Wow.
movie was
The
a
North
prequel.
Hey!
Yeah, The Northman was a prequel for this movie, is my opinion.
There we go.
But yeah, I loved it. Very good movie.
Oz?
Would you say movie good?
Yeah, movie good.
Woo!
Sorry to steal your thunder, Tim.
It's all good.
No, he
Everybody
can
gets
he can
one.
still give it a movie good if he wants.
We can all groove.
I was gonna say, it's like, just because one person says movie good doesn't mean somebody else can't say it.
Movie good is for the people. My hat!
We are movie good. All right. Tanner, we'll go next with you.
Oh boy. All right, hold on. Let me get All right, now I'm ready to talk about this
What?
movie. Let's go. Just did a line of coke, brother. My hat. Just did some cocaine, my guys. I'm ready to talk about Elf. Wait, no, fuck. We're talking about Violent Night. Where am I? It's
They're the same movie, basically.
Yeah, you know, they both have a Santa Claus.
It's true.
I'm so sorry, excuse me. That's something David Harbour Santa Claus would do. Where to start with this movie? So, Joe, do you remember what movie it was we saw where we saw the trailer for this for the first time?
I don't remember the movie that we saw that had the trailer play before this, but
Well,
I do remember it's like when that trailer played, I leaned over to you and I was like, we're seeing this shit, right?
oh yeah, I remember after the trailer ended, I went, day one, baby. And then we waited until 10 days after it came out so we could do it for Joe's birthday. Yay.
Woo!
For he's a jolly good... I'm sorry. Anyway, so I had some high expectations for it to just be a fun movie. And I got that, and then some. I didn't expect it to be the greatest combination of Die Hard meets Home Alone. I don't know about y'all, but this is what Home Alone should be. When he fucking fell, when that one goon fell and the nail went through his fucking jaw, that shit fucking ruled. It was gnarly as hell, but it ruled.
Tanner,
I think it goes to say that this is definitely a movie you should bring your kids to.
Absolutely. Especially
Anyway.
for the chimney kill.
Tanner, I got good news for you. There is a Home Alone movie like that. It's called Better Watch Out.
Oh yeah, I guess that is kind of a Home Alone movie. But does it have Santa Claus?
No.
Fuck you. So, I'm disgusted by the implication, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Alright, a simple no would have done.
Yeah, you got the reference. Billy Madison, good movie. The action was way better than I thought it would be. Pretty clear, not too many cuts. The choreography was really solid. This movie was way more violent than I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect to see the amount of gore we got. Did you guys expect that? Because I did not.
I definitely expected gore, but I think it was a little above what I was expecting.
I I expected the gore, but I'll get into that when I talk about my thoughts.
I'm just saying, I didn't expect two guys to get Fargoed, okay? I wasn't expecting Fargoing to happen in this movie. And two guys get fucking Fargoed. But the humor was really there. And at its core, though, I have a take here that I think is objectively correct. If you remove the humor and you remove the over-the-top violent action sequences, at its core, this movie is a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah, kind of.
And I mean that in a nice way. Hallmark Christmas movies are comfort food. They're simple, you know what you're gonna get with them, and if you're anything like me, you'll probably cry. Which this movie, I believe, did in fact make me cry. Bennett, can
I heard
attest
it.
to this.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you were weeping the whole way home.
I looked over and I saw you were crying.
I can't
This
even
movie
remember
made me
what
feel-
cry.
It made me feel very happy inside. It
I
made
mean,
me a
I
lot
cry-
closer to my dad.
I cry a lot. I just saw a trailer earlier today that made me start crying. And it was the newest trailer for the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I still don't know why I started crying.
This man cried at the Super Mario Brothers trailer. This man cried at the Clifford trailer.
Tanner, there's this amazing thing called therapy.
I've been to it. I think the reason why I cry a lot is because I know how to healthily process my emotions, unlike most adult men.
This is
Good
true.
point.
Violent Night. It's very violent. It's very night. John Leguizamo. Shout out to my boy John Leguizamo. Everyone's gonna be shouting out David Harbour. I love John Leguizamo as the over-the-top villain. Is he quite a Hans Gruber? No, but I do love the Mr. Scrooge we got here. One thing I will say, I love the video game shit where he kept looking at the naughty list to see how many bad guys were left. That was some fucking video game shit, and I was really fond of it. And the little Easter eggs on the naughty or nice list was great. I think the thing that made me laugh the fucking hardest was when Trudy, when they were looking at her nice list, right? And one of the things that put her on the nice list was invited weird kid to party.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking laughed so hard at that part.
I saw that and I went, holy shit! Or with the naughty list where it's like, doesn't call mom was right next to murdered best friend. Like, yeah, you know what? Both of those should put you on the naughty list.
Equally bad.
I also love just the David Harbour's illusions when talking to Trudy. Oh, I'm gonna give him a whole lot of coal. And then he just sticks a grenade up that guy's pants. And I fucking love, this is how you know David Harbour rules. Most movies do the cowardly thing where cool guys don't look at explosions. David Harbour in this movie, after putting a grenade up someone's ass, is like, fuck man, I gotta watch. And he turns around to see it, and it's beautiful. I will also say the gnarliest kill I have seen in a movie all year has got to go to the John Leguizamo chimney kill. That shit that was like some shit out of The Boys. Alright, that was some fucking gnarly shit, and I loved it. It's a great movie, 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's fun for the whole family. Bring them all.
Woo!
Assuming your children are adults.
Yeah, there we go.
Back to
All
you.
right. All right. Joe, thoughts on the film?
Alright, so, like I was saying earlier, I did expect this movie to be a lot gorier than what the trailers had led on. Mostly because I was very familiar with who the director was, and I knew for a fact that knowing that, I knew we were in good hands with this. Because let me just read off 3 of the films this man is known for. The big one is Tommy Wirkola, who's the director of this. This is the guy that directed Dead Snow, which is arguably, well, maybe not anymore after this came out. But before that, arguably his most well-known movie. He followed it up with a sequel, Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Snow. You guys might have also heard of this one, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. The Jeremy Renner, Gemma Arterton movie, where they play Hansel and Gretel, and they fucking just, like, mow down witches. So, if any of those, like, titles, if you're familiar with them, if you're familiar with that, or just hearing those titles just kind of gives you any indicator of what to expect, then yeah, that this guy can be trusted with a violent action movie that stars Santa Claus. So I had some high expectations going into this. And honestly, I will say this, because, yeah, we did see it on my birthday, and I've had time to just kind of let the movie sit with me, and just kind of let that little bias kind of just wash over me. I will say this, man, oh man, if 2022 did not give us so many goddamn good movies this year, this easily would have been in my top 5. Like, by fucking god, I loved this movie to bits and fucking pieces. It's number 20 on my list, but like I said, so many goddamn good movies came out this year, and I feel bad that it's not higher for some reason. But what can you do? Let's actually talk about the movie itself. Are there any flaws? Yeah, kind of. I think some of the setup lasts just like a little bit too long. I think a little bit more mean-spiritedness could have been like sprinkled into this. But I mean, other than that, like everything else is pretty fucking pitch perfect. The action's fun and very creative. Tanner mentioned Home Alone. There's a Home Alone sequence in this, and it's one of the funniest sequences of the whole fucking movie. Because you have one guy who is just a complete fucking butt monkey the entire time. It's like, oh, she sticks the nail in, just like in the movie. It's like, there's the nail, like, jabbed through the ladder. They know what's coming. However, they don't expect one of the fucking bits on the ladder to just be sawed in half, because then the guy just fucking goes and gets the nail stuck in his chin. And then, God, it's like all the fucking shit that just falls on top of him after that. Like, what wasn't one of them like a bowling? Wasn't it like a couple of bowling balls?
Yeah, they were bowling balls.
I'm trying to remember what it was that killed him. But I remember that
it was the bowling ball that hit the nail into his head.
Oh yeah, that's right. God, they even like show just how fucking violent that ornaments trap in Home Alone is. 'Cause they use that. Shit ain't pretty. And I mean, just that whole sequence is fun, but like there's other fun sequences. There's a lot of like fun like just action sequences involving Santa. Specifically Santa and a hammer. God. And yeah, I mean, it's derivative of Die Hard, but you know what? I think having that template, and just kind of spicing it up with it being a little girl and Santa Claus as John McClane and Al Powell, I think that helps. I have a cat on my table.
Joe's got a cat. Woo!
I got cat. We got cat on AlamoCast. God, where was I? Oh yeah. I think that's a very refreshing little thing, and also it adds a lot of heart to the movie. Because, yes, Santa in this is very fucking jaded about the holiday. He's an alcoholic, kind of like most David Harbour characters. And I think having this little girl just kind of helps him, like, remind him of the spirit of the season. Also, I want to give a shout out to John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo is like really fun in this. And I mean, David Harbour, of course, he's the lead. He steals the whole fucking thing. I don't know what else to talk about it.
Talk about your balls.
No, I'm not going to talk about my balls. I will say, I was actually thinking about this earlier today. I'm just remembering this. We're in spoilers, but there's a moment in the movie, and I think this was one of the moments that Tanner was crying during, where it's like, we think Santa is fucking dead. He's killed John. He's killed John Leguizamo, but then he gets like a couple bullets from like some guy that he had forgotten to take out, and he's just lying there on the ground like dying, and then we presume that he's dead, and they're like. They're trying to bring him back through the power of faith, and they all say, "I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in Santa Claus." The entire time, I was trying to take it seriously, but I couldn't because I was reminded of something from my past that I'm gonna bring up because it's cringe. So there's a nostalgia critic movie called Kick-Assia.
No!
where a similar scene happens with a character called Santa Christ. And they're like, I believe in Santa Christ. Let's use the power of belief to bring him back to life. And the entire time, I was just waiting for Santa to be dead, and then the little girl just to go, nope, that did nothing, toss him. Because I was thinking about that moment in Kick-Assia the entire time.
I'm going to commit vehicular manslaughter on you.
You don't even have a car.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your car?
No.
Bennett,
You
can I
can borrow
borrow your
mine.
car?
Yeah, go ahead.
The one that's busted? That one might kill him better.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Go ahead and borrow my stolen car.
Can I steal your car again?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was me the first time, by the way.
Oh, make sure it doesn't get found this time.
Okay, you got
But
it.
yeah,
baby.
you know, movie good. I fucking loved it. It's easily in my top 20. It's gonna become a fucking Christmas tradition at this point. It's probably it's going up there with Krampus and Anna and the Apocalypse. I gotta watch it every season. So back to you, Tim.
Hell yeah. Alright. Great thoughts all around. For me, I'm gonna start with sort of my expectations. So the first thing I saw of this movie was the poster, and that's just like David Harbour with this bloody face and the Santa outfit and says Violent Night. And if you watch the Anime Apocalypse podcast, you'll know that I a few years ago did a marathon of Christmas horror movies, and like every season I try to work in some more Christmas horror movies when I have time. So I've seen a lot of Christmas horror movies, and a lot of them have an edgy Santa. It's such a done-to-death trope, and when I saw that poster, I was just like, oh, it's another one of these, I guess.
I was gonna say, it's like, if you don't see the trailer for this movie, and you don't know what the premise is, and you just see that poster, you kind of just roll your eyes, just thinking, ugh, it's another violent Santa horror movie.
Yeah, that's where my head was at when I saw the poster, and then when I saw the trailer and like heard a little bit more about it and heard that it was like an action movie where the Santa was the hero, I was like, okay, that could be fun. This looks like it could be a good time. So I went to see it, and it was a good time. I liked it a lot. I think part of what makes it really special is that it has this heart to it that I wasn't expecting. I think that's what sets it apart from, you know, all those other edgy Santa movies. And like Tanner was saying, it gets kind of like Hallmarky and it gets like corny, but like that's exactly what it needed.
That's what Christmas is.
Yeah, like that's what it needed to set itself apart from like all of the just super self-serious, dark Christmas edgy movie things. And yeah, I think that it was just like it had a very good balance of like that sort of like edgy stuff with the heartfelt stuff. Like there's moments where it kind of takes itself a little seriously, and then it balances out with some humor, some like again heartfelt moments. Like I think really one of the key ingredients here was having the most adorable little kid in the world. Like the little girl was just like the heart of the movie, and like seeing her interactions with Santa is what really kept the movie going and kept me invested. Like I loved that once she uses the little radio, that they were just like, he might not be able to answer, but if you tell Santa what you want, he'll hear it. And then Santa like actually hears it because he steals someone else's radio, and he just gets on that frequency. He's like, yeah, this is Santa. I thought that was great. And yeah, the kills, again, like we've been saying, all great. Like the Home Alone sequence is great. Because like at first, like they were saying, like it looks like it's just like this naive little girl who just saw Home Alone for the first time and, you know, is expecting people to fall for the simple trick, but then you see there's a little more to it than that, and like the guy falls down, he hits his chin on the nail, and like I remember like the entire theater at that moment audibly went ooh, because under the chin kills, or under the chin gore, that's just it's one of those things like tendons that's just rough to watch.
It's like that scene in Hot Fuzz. You just turn away every time.
Exactly. Yeah, the Hot Fuzz thing for sure. And like that whole sequence was just a lot of fun. Once Santa took his shirt off and you see the tattoos, like that was just such an awesome reveal. Because it's so goofy and it's so fun, and my girlfriend was like, this confirms the origins of Rise of the Guardians. And I have not seen Rise of the Guardians, so I don't understand the context of that.
It does! She's right! Tell her she's right!
I will let her know. I will watch the movie probably at some point.
Good.
So that I understand the context for this. But yeah, I did really have a lot of fun with sort of the approach they took to like this version of Santa, because again, it has that great balance. And going back to the kills, going back to the chimney kill, like I expected this to have some like gory kills. I expected it to be violent, but I was not expecting the final kill to be a fucking Mortal Kombat fatality. That shit was great.
That shit went so hard.
That is a moment you gotta see with a crowd, because when that moment hit, everyone was like hyped.
It's a crowd-pleasing moment.
Absolutely. Just a lot of fun. If you like movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night, or like, you know, any of those other edgy Santa movies, Santa's Sleigh, that one is another one where it's actually Santa. So like if you like stuff in that vein, but you know, want something a little different from all of the ones you've seen, this is definitely one to check out. It's a lot of fun. So I guess we'll kick it off to general discussion for a little while. Anybody has anything to say, go ahead.
I'm stroking my dick right now. I got lotion on my... No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Tanner. Very cool.
I want to fucking die.
I kept saying that before the Avatar recording, and I was driving Joe nuts.
Yeah. Anyway. God.
Back to the OC.
Yes, back to the OC. I had a point, but then I lost it after Tanner just had to fucking say that shit. God.
Oh, you know what? I lied before when I said the funniest thing in the movie was Trudy inviting the weird kid to the party. So first off, we haven't brought it up. First off, actually, so the husband actor character, or
right,
as it very clearly was, Mark Wahlberg. He even says the fucking, if I was there on 9/11, it wouldn't have gone down that way thing. That character's clearly supposed to just be Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And number two, their kid, the little Instagram shithead, I think had the line of the movie. Wait, don't kill us! What? What if you accidentally kill the person and knows where the money is? God damn it!
Like, yeah, that's great that he's like mad, but he's like, fuck, he's got a point.
Fuck, he's right. I just love how the little idiot Instagram kid is an idiot the whole movie, and then out of nowhere, he brings up a brilliant point.
So I have the letterbox pulled up on this, and I just realized that there's a Christmas Vacation nod in its casting that I didn't even realize was a nod, but she's a part of the main cast. The grandma character in this is Beverly D'Angelo from Christmas Vacation.
Who?
It's Clark Griswold's wife in Christmas Vacation.
Oh, you're right, she is.
Yeah, I had no idea. So,
Now I recognize it now that you said it.
It's a very, very different role from what's Ellen Griswold. That's right. It's like the only Griswold in those fucking movies that you even give a shit about is Clark.
She grizz on my wall till I Clark.
So the vacation cast should be called. The vacation cast should be Clark Griswold and the rest. Just anyway, but we're not talking about Christmas Vacation.
Maybe so.
Are we?
Well, someday we should. Christmas Vacation's a great movie.
Another thing the actor guy did that was very funny was when the main character, when Trudy's dad said Santa wasn't real, Mark Wahlberg acted genuinely shocked at this revelation.
Yeah, that was good.
Like, that actually broke his brain, like he actually believed in Santa Claus. I also loved how big of ass kissers the sister-in-law, the sisters were, basically. I fucking loved how they were like, "Hi, Mom." And then the fucking Instagram kid had like a men's name of Gertrude.
Bertrude.
This is for my homie Bertrude.
I'm sorry, that's not a real name.
Fucking God, this movie's so funny. There are so many great little lines. Bennett, what did you love?
Yeah, we haven't heard from you in a hot minute.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Why you keep putting me on the spot, dude? It's almost like I went and saw his movie with you guys or something.
Bennett.
It's almost like you're on a podcast.
You know what I love, Tanner? I love that fucking burger that I ate at the fucking movie theater, dude.
You know what? That was a good... I just had the Royale with cheese today. Oh my God, that like aioli they put on the burger, so good.
It was fire.
I had the Breakfast Club. That was quite good. That came way earlier than anybody else's because it was the club.
I got that for when I saw Batman Returns. I got the Breakfast Club. Oh, baby. That has to be one of the most delicious sandwiches I've ever had in my life. It was so good.
Very good.
Something I did really like, though, about the movie was the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I might be biased because I do be loving the camera.
You haven't voted St. Louis sexiest cinematographer 4 years running.
I'm defending champion of that.
Tim's coming for that title this year, though.
Tim, I'm gonna bare knuckle box in the parking lot after this.
In Santa costumes.
Yeah, in Santa
go.
costumes.
That's the only way.
No pants.
Yeah, the lighting was really good. It is so easy to make a movie that's very dark and have it look muddy and shitty. This one doesn't. It's very clear.
No, yeah, it's very clear, and like the action shots are extremely hard to shoot. People don't realize this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to make action look realistic, because like obviously you're not able to actually fucking hit each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
well, maybe not on your sets. But on my sets, we actually
Tanner,
put each other's dicks off.
Tanner, shut the fuck up.
Okay, sorry, Dad.
Yeah, you're obviously not allowed to hit each other, and so like you have to be creative with like how you shoot it and how like the angles you use to make it look like they're actually making contact and things like that. Otherwise, it just looks fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So the pulling it off with the lighting they did and the choice of frame rate in certain spots with like slow motion or not slow motion, I felt like it was just like perfect. The cinematography was just very fucking good in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Santa stitches up a knife wound with gift wrap. I feel like we should talk about this more.
There's a lot of like Christmas imagery that's actually used super clever in like this whole movie, because the other like clever use of like Christmas imagery I'm thinking of is the use of Santa's sack during the action sequences.
My sack!
Like just like throws the sack like right in front of him as the guy's throwing the knife at him. It just goes through like this infinity portal, and he's just like pulling out presents just to kind of use as a shield.
Die Hard on Blu-ray. Fuck.
Shit, Die Hard on Blu-ray.
Die Hard on Blu-ray was so fucking funny. I will say though, I forgot. Never mind.
Thank you, Tanner. Very cool.
The Christmas Star kill.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Tim. I keep interrupting you. I feel like such a dick.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I guess going earlier, like you were talking about, like the family relations. I do think that like that was a very funny aspect of it. Like, the one good son is the one that the mom loves the most, and it's very, very clear about that. Like, she doesn't give a fuck about the other kids because they're just like rich, stuck-up people. And I love the sequence where they make them give the presents, and the Mark Wahlberg dude just like gives them like a treatment.
The pitch!
the pitch thing, that was so stupid and funny.
God.
And then like she's just like here's a framed photo of the day I was born. She's like, she don't give a fuck.
I love the fucking actor that was like deranged. Like the one. First off, I loved all the code names. The Christmas code names were great. I also loved how it's like, I think it was the real Santa Claus. What the fuck did you just say? It's one of those movies where the premise is so absurd that it wraps back around into being unabsurd almost.
Yeah, I think it has, again, like what we've been saying, like it has the right amount of edginess and like genuineness that makes it work.
I think that's where a lot of edgy Christmas movies go wrong, honestly.
Yeah.
No offense to Bad Santa, but for the most part, that movie is just mean, and I don't want mean when I watch a Christmas movie. It gets nice at the end. I honestly, I think I've come around to Bad Santa in the last year. Yeah. I would argue that maybe I kind of like it now.
Hey, we got him.
I think there's like a place for like movies like that to exist. Like there is a place for like things like A Bad Santa. There's a place for like Silent Night, Deadly Night, which I would argue is one of the most miserable Christmas movies ever.
Well, my thing is that I don't think you can be a Christmas movie if you're mean. I think the point of Christmas is niceness, and if you're mean, then you're not Christmas.
I think there's a time and place for it, and you have to do something unique and special with it for it to be mean-spirited and still kind of feel like a Christmas movie. But with that said, yeah, if you're gonna be a Christmas movie, probably have some heart in your movie.
You have to be very skilled to pull off mean Christmas with no heart.
Like Krampus. I'm gonna use that one as an example. I'm gonna use Krampus as an example. It's like that movie can get very mean-spirited at times, but it still has heart. Like the family in that, yeah, they're on each other's case the entire time, and they're honestly like a bunch of assholes, but then they kind of come around and realize like, oh yeah, no, we do love each other, and we gotta stick together in this absolutely fucking terrifying like sequence of events that's happening.
Yeah, that's how me and Tanner are.
That's
when Bennett and I are jerking each other off, stroking with lotion on our dicks and stuff.
That's not something you get in like Silent Night, Deadly Night, where the whole thing is this nun's a bitch and drove this kid fucking insane.
I'm gonna say it every time you say Silent Night, Deadly Night. I expect you to say Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, Deadly Hill.
Silent Hill 2 is my favorite Christmas video game.
There we go.
I do talk about Silent Hill a lot, but no, it's not a Christmas thing.
Joseph Silent Hill Vrenick.
But yeah,
all right.
Violent Night thankfully has the heart, and honestly, I don't think the movie would work if it didn't have any heart.
If this movie was just a dumb action movie and at the end he said "fuck off" to Gertrude, this shit would suck ass. Because then also Santa's motivation wouldn't work. He has to care about the kid for his motivation to work.
Yeah, and like I'll say, when we had that like moment where Santa's dying, I was just like, he better not actually die, or else this movie is gonna drop to like 2 stars.
I was honestly being like, if they kill Santa Claus, that will ruin the movie.
Yeah, because like with everything that this movie had done, like that downer note would just be a big old wet blanket full of piss.
That'd be like a fuck you to the audience. That would like genuinely ruin the movie.
And I do love that they had that just like Pikachu to Ash in Pokemon the first movie moment where they bring him back to life because they believe.
Pikachu! Pikachu!
It's just cheesy enough to be great, and I love that they kind of like they go into that like, I guess I believe. Like they know they're making kind of a joke out of it, but like they're being genuine with it too. Like it has a good amount of sarcasm with the genuineness, and I think that's what makes this whole movie work, as I've been saying.
There's such a great running gag with the "How did you do that, Santa?" I don't know, Christmas magic or something.
Yeah, I think that's great, just because, like, that's exactly what the parents say, because nobody has a good answer. And I love that, like, that's just what Santa says, too, because that's just how it is. Christmas magic. Nobody really understands.
Not even Santa.
Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get us to final thoughts. We'll start with Tan.
Well, everyone else has had a chance to say it, so I'm gonna say it. Violent Night is a night most violent, a night most funny, a night most action-packed, a night most heart-filled. And as a movie, I say, very nice, movie good.
Woo, Borat!
Bravo,
Alright.
Borat.
The Boratification of Violent Night.
There we go. Bennett, final thoughts.
Great movie. High expectations were met. If you like violence, if you like Christmas spirit, if you like a happy ending, if you like comedy, and if you like David Harbour, then this movie has all that and you should go see it.
Bennett,
Hell
I do
yeah.
like happy endings. You're still gonna give me one later, right? You can't leave. He still did it! He still did it! Oh, that's great.
Alright. Joe, final thoughts.
This is a damn near perfect Christmas movie. My God, it's a fun time. It's a fun holiday movie. Go see this in theaters while it's still the holiday season. I mean, this is gonna release on Christmas, so if you've got nothing else planned after all your family festivities, go check this one out at the theater. Heck, invite your family to the theater. It's Christmas, you cowards.
Not the small children, though. I think
Yeah.
this might be a little much.
Yeah,
for them.
leave. Maybe have one adult go with them to go see Puss in Boots or something like that. But honestly, if you can't get into Avatar, go see this.
She puss in my boots till I wish.
I don't know, dude. I haven't seen Avatar yet, and I already think this movie's better than it.
Oh, it is.
I liked Avatar more, but I respect that.
Alright. My final thoughts. Like everybody said, movie good.
Yeah!
I even wrote that on the little notepad. Tanner, do you have the note?
I do have the note.
Alright.
I've been doing
Yeah.
that every time I go to the Alamo. This is gonna be a tradition. Like, here's the one I just did for Puss in Boots today. But I do have the one that started it all right here. Hold on. It's stuck in the box. It's stuck in the box. Fuck.
That's what she said.
There we go.
Hell
Might have to
yeah.
Put this in post to make it readable, but
No, we read it. We can read it just fine.
there it is, right there.
Alright.
Just so
Yeah.
you know, Jen, from my perspective, it's flipped. So if you use my video,
Yeah, I'll get it all worked out.
I just wanted you to know. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a great time. Go see it if it looks even remotely interesting to you. Like if what we've been saying has piqued your interest, go check it out. Like we're premiering this at like 7 p.m. Chicago time on Christmas. If you got time, go check it out. Go if you're not drunk on eggnog, go check it out.
I'm always drunk on eggnog on Christmas.
Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's gonna do it for our first ALAMONUS cast for Bomb Squad Movie Night. Thank you for tuning in. If you're listening on any of the audio platforms, leave a review or give thumbs up or something. I don't care. Just do for Tanner. Just think of it.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Leave a comment below. Let us know. What did you think of Violent Night? Do you like dark, edgy Santa movies? What are your thoughts on Christmas Vacation? Comment below and let us know. And
Not
while you're
Violent
down-
Night, Christmas Vacation.
Exactly.
Do
And
you
while you're
think
down-
Tanner extorted money from the Alamo Drafthouse?
Shut up! Okay, Bennett? You're gonna get me banned.
And while you're down there, hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And hit the bell icon to get notifications on when we upload stuff. Thank you for tuning in to this very special bonus cast. Merry Christmas, and remember, Christmas will never die if you still believe. Farewell.
God damn right.
So unprofessional, Prancer.
I gotta watch.
I slid my ticket across the table and I said, sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl.